My fish fam! It's Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I'm here with my brother.
I'm back.
My brother's back, and back at just the right time, because we won NRG Series St. Louis. I'm now an NRG champion. That's right, this is a very distinguished title on the NRG Series circuit, I'll have you know. And
Is that made of glass or plastic?
I don't know. Gotta ask them. Anyway, so this is the list that I won with. I'm not changing a thing, assuming Nadu isn't banned. Now, I will say that if you really want to, what would make this deck a little bit more balanced is you could put the Tashanda's Tie Binders in the main and move one Harbinger of the Seas and a Svelun to the side. Well, that just screwed everything up. That would make the deck a little bit more balanced, but like the decks that I am personally have a little bit more tough time beating, and not just me, but a lot of people like beating Boros Energy, the Scam decks. I think having Harbinger of the Seas and Svelun are going to help you in those matchups, and therefore I want to have. I'm leaning a little bit more to those in the main, even though it makes the deck a little bit less balanced. This deck, why would you want to play Merfolk? It has a great Nadu matchup. That might not mean anything by the time you watch this video. Maybe it's banned by the time you see it, but as outside, the Black Nadu matchup maybe is tougher. They've got Grist, Fatal Push. That's always more rough when they've got some actual spot removal, Bowmasters, stuff like that. So maybe that is harder, or maybe I don't have a positive win rate versus that. But for sure, versus Bant Nadu, I'm not gonna say it's a buy, but you're heavily favored. And unfortunately, no one can balance the format out because there are not enough Merfolk players out there to do it. So anyway, we're gonna stick to this Viled version of Merfolk, because I will say, if Nadu gets banned, it's very highly likely we're gonna go to something like this that has no Vile, and the deck will probably change some. But anyway, this is Vile as Merfolk with Vile, so with Vile. And with that, let's get into our league.
Yeah.
We lost the die roll, and we have a one-lander. All right, well, this is not worth keeping.
DB Nikachu?
I'm Daybreak Nikachu, sponsored by Daybreak Games.
Oh, no kidding. I had no idea.
Okay, well, it's a god account, so I have access to all the cards. Ugh, sounds not that great either. Well, it's okay.
That's news to me.
We can go sink into Stupor. It will be painful.
So
into our Ether Vial.
So you can get the Black Lotus?
Yeah, I can get Black Lotus. Not that that's particularly special on Magic the Gathering Online. Okay, we're gonna keep, and I guess I'll get rid of. It's hard. Flare, like, these are the two polar opposites of each other. The decks where Dismember is good, Flare is not. But I guess I'll dump the Flare and hope our opponent's not on Ruby Storm, because Dismember would be more useful versus, say, Scam. What's it called? Nadu. Are you gonna go with Sacred Foundry? Sorry, Skull and Tarn Pass. Huh? Oh, another Dismember.
It's a sign.
Yeah. It's a sign we're going to like 9, because I'm already going to shock myself to get this Soporific Springs. I don't know what that means. Someone in chat or someone in the comment section can let me know.
Did they import your rating and everything from your Nikachu account into this one?
No, nothing's been ported. Not that it's even there's something to port. Oh, wait, this could be Storm. Which means I dumped one of my critical... It is Storm. We dumped one of our critical counterspells. Okay, play
it's
Ral.
floating right back up to the top.
Play Ral. Give me something to dismember. That is not Ral. That is a Ruby Medallion. I regret my life's choices. Now, a lot of people seem to have massive problems with this matchup for some reason. Yeah, oof. What to do here? This is one of my very few counter spells available to me. I think... I have some options. I can go Tide Shaper, hit this thing, the Elegant Parlor. But they don't have... Okay, so it's the white version, which means... Actually, I don't think it does anything. Tapping out next turn sort of sucks, but I don't have, like, any... Well, no, I do have interaction. Okay, so I'll just play the Sink into Stupor tapped, and then pass the turn. We're going to keep Dismember up for a Ral if they play it. Ral is a stupid card that every single time they play, I think an instant or sorcery, they can flip a coin and potentially turn it into a Planeswalker. They seem a bit flooded, so that can be good.
Is that the Planeswalker where its ultimate is you flip 10 coins and each...
No.
Oh. something.
But well, it's this Ral. So it's the same person, same character. So their draw off of this Reckless Impulse was terrible. Or they're trying to combo off here. What's the deal? Why are you spending so much mana? Oh, another Ren's Resolve. You don't want to play your Ral? You have a Ral in hand or something? So you got now a Mountain and another Ruby Medallion. So, oh no, but they got a Ren's Resolve. Okay, so, well, so far the Ren's Resolve. You can usually let the Ren's Resolve.
Resolve?
Yeah, resolve. It's usually how it can go. Okay, now what are you going to do? Going to play Ren's Resolve off of your Ral. Which I will have a response. Oh, shoot. Glimpse the Impossible. That's a good one. This is sorcery speed. Good. So we're going to dismember this. Because we really do not want this thing to turn into a Planeswalker. It's got a -2 ability. It can shoot things down. Also, it can draw a billion cards. So, dismember that thing on sight. They lost the flip anyway and took a damage. Okay, Glimpse the Impossible. That's a dangerous one. That's an evil one. I would have countered that if I could. If I had that Flare Denial, I would have filed in my Dock Hand and countered that thing.
Manamorpho, still not banned.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people have been calling for that one to be banned for many years, but no, it stands. Metamorphose is not going anywhere.
They need to make all the different versions of it for every color to make it fair.
Well, if I am not mistaken, I should be dead. Oh no, they played a land, so they can't go Wish into Past in Flames this turn or anything like that. So if you go Ren's Resolve, you might hit a Ritual and then go off. But you need to be lucky, because if you don't, then you can't do anything for the rest of the turn. They can't play Ruby Medallion. Okay, they're gonna go for it. Ren's Resolve. They brick. I guess they still have these until no, it's not. It's just until the end of their turn. Until the end of your next turn. Oh no, they can still play it till the end of the next turn.
Too
Hard
long
for me to keep track of this crap. Okay, they got another. They did get a Ritual though, so the Ritual is worth 3 mana, which again they can go Wish into something. It doesn't really go anywhere. They're really trying to go off on turn 3, which is fine. They can by all means try to do that. I am defenseless. I am defenseless. I'd be more defenseful if I had my Flare Denial.
You can play that Dock Hand.
Well, the Dock Hand's not really doing a whole lot for
me.
Get him out
right
there.
now,
you know? It's not doing a whole lot. I've seen the Dock Hand do a whole lot more before. Okay, another Reckless Impulse.
Storm Count 10.
Is this in order? I feel like they're just stuffing these cards like in the middle, which is rude of the client. Like, I'm not keeping really good track of what's freshly been exiled. Okay, we have a Past in Flames here. Another Ral shows up. That's not good news. You can go Wish. Might flip this thing. Now I really need them to lose the flip. They won the flip. Oh, shoot. What is this going to be? A bazillion? Yeah. Okay, well, probably going to lose now. So the idea with Ral is if they win the flip, they get a bunch of counters per how many, it's got an additional loyalty for each instant and sorcery cast this turn. So they have played a lot of spells. Now they can go -8 and, like, play their entire deck, basically.
The flips.
Now, the good thing about Merfolk is that we got counter spells! Hexcatcher! Flare of Denial, Force of Negation!
Just need them on the board.
These are like this is the bottom end of my cards. Okay, I'm just going to concede. That's fine. And then I drew another dismount. I did have the Flare Denial. We'd have slammed that combo
smoked
deck.
him.
That's right. Okay, cards we want. We want Dismember. We want Flash. Anything at Flash speed, because we really want to pass the turn and be able to hold up our interaction. We don't really want to 2-for-1 ourselves with Flare of Denial or Force of Negation. So passing the turn and being able to counter their spells, great. You do want Dismember strictly for Ral. That's very important to kill. If they flip that, that can be just removal spell. That can even if they don't combo off that turn, it can just be this constant removal spell on your creatures. So that is worth killing and interacting with. I don't know what the rest of my guide is here. Okay, I know what to bring in. I don't remember what I take. It's probably all the clunky stuff. Sveilun and Harbinger of the Seas. Harbinger of the Sea, I mean, they can just fetch mountains if they want. There's like a... They're the white one, so they could bring in Flage, and this will turn off Flage because they don't have any basic planes. But I still do not really. I think you should just suck it up and deal with it. Both Dockhand and Tideshaper can deal with the back end of Flage. And that's it. That's clean. It's very clean. Tishana's Tidebinder, by the way, can interact with Ral. It can hit the Storm Trigger technically. That hopefully it doesn't get to that point. If the game gets to a point where they like actually combo off, you're in a lot of trouble. Like where they play like Grape Shot with Storm 20. But other than that, Tishana's Tidebinder, what does it hit? You can hit the enchantment that's like an Oblivion Ring for 1 mana, that energy thing. This hand is incredibly mediocre. I guess we're going to keep it, though. It's got a little bit of a clock, and it's got Hexcatcher, so... Go, 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 Tideshaper. But, like, Hexcatcher is a little bit soft. Ooh, where were you last turn? Okay, now what do we want to do? Nothing different, probably. Do I attack with Mutavault next turn? No. Attack for 1. Can't remember if they have Galvanic Discharge. They might have it post-board, so I won't put a Hexcatcher in play right now.
Oh, this is like an actual thing by Daybreak Games that they made.
Yes.
I thought it was just some sort of OBS trickery that you were...
What?
Oh, the preview card window.
Oh, no, no. The preview card window existed for eternity.
Oh,
I just never used it. I didn't use it because I never used it because I didn't need it, or at least like it's replacing where chat should be.
Yeah.
The chat is gone. Okay, Ruby Medallion. See, so I get a lot of questions. How do you beat Storm? How do you beat Storm? Well, like, it's all situational. Like, it's all situational. Now, if I have, like, this raging clock on the battlefield, maybe I let this resolve, but I don't have a raging clock on the battlefield, so I might actually want to sacrifice my 1/1 Tideshaper. I let this resolve. I can play, like, another Tideshaper and a Hexcatcher. What's the clock there? Tideshaper, Hex... I'm just trying to think. Hexcatcher, I play another Hexcatcher, and Tideshaper, I attack for 5, put my opponent down to 12. That's lethal. Yeah, I guess we can let that What if I play Hexcatcher, counter it, next turn play Tideshaper, Hexcatcher? I could also Tideshape Kick, hit this thing, which would also be very rude.
This thing looks like one
It's
of
a tough spot. I guess we're just going to force them to try to kill us.
This thing looks like one of the bugs that you eat from Lion King from Super Nintendo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay, we did draw a land, so we can combo off. Sorry, we can kill next turn. For certainty. For sure.
Boom.
What can we afford to throw away?
Everything.
We throw 2 creatures away. This will be 3, 6. 3, 6, 11. Not lethal, unless our opponent fetches. If our opponent fetches, we can sack 2 creatures and win next turn. So it'll be a little, like, if they have a lot of rituals, that'll be a bit of a pickle for us.
So you can pay.
Okay, there's Manamorphose. Do we have a Wood Foothills there? Okay, well, they're going to get some mana. Don't give me regrets, opponent. Or don't give me regrets. Oh, it's Ral again. Ral is evil. Okay, but they fetched down to 11. Damn it. Oh, yeah, they got the double discount here. Okay, you're going to win or lose this flip, Ral.
Lose.
They lost the flip.
Huh.
So exile the top. This is a type of card you want to counter. Unfortunately, I don't have any hard counters on me. I just have these soft counters. Exile top three cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remained exiled, put them into your graveyard. And you get a bunch of 1/1s. Not really thrilled about the 1/1s. Also not really thrilled about all the cards that they draw. Sack. Okay, we're going to let it resolve, I guess. A bunch of lands. 1 Reckless Impulse. Very often, if they win the flip, they still don't flip Ral because they really want to like go off. But I guess in this case, they might decide to deal some damage here. They found another ritual. So this is where I would counter a ritual. Sure. You killed one of my hex catchers. It's more where that came from. Ral. Okay, so this is like where I'm gonna I gotta put this combo to put an end to it. We gotta stop this thing. So what, are they gonna get 3 1/1s? It's incredibly frustrating.
Lame.
Or how many? Oh, they got a bunch of 1/1s. Well, I don't have a whole lot of decisions here. I got to get rid of that stupid Ral. Or do I ignore Ral? Well, the problem is if I ignore Ral, Ral goes down and is an absolute pain. So we're going to go all in. I didn't think about this properly. I could have dismembered an Eldrazi spawn, and that would have left up mana so I can play Mutavault to counter something. Oh, they can still play this next turn? That's terrible for me. Okay, we're going to all in on Ral.
Do you have Island Walk?
No, I don't have Island Walk. None of my Tide Shapers were played with Island Walk, anything. Although I have to say, the fact that they flipped the Ral is generally a sign of weakness. Like, if they could really go off, they just keep doing it. You want to block a little bit, do you? You want to keep your Ral around. That's right. So the good news is I have lethal next turn if they don't win.
Come on, you got nothing.
But like I usually just need one hard counterspell, and sometimes these soft counterspells are enough because if they like brick or whatever. Okay, we're gonna go Desperate Ritual.
Guess desperate.
Oh yeah, not that desperate. Ren's Resolve. Okay. Metamorphose. That's ugly.
Too many new cards in this format.
Sorry, that's magic. Okay, did Ren go up? Yeah, Ren went up. Okay, so they're fetching. Okay, 1 mana. I would have to sack everything to stop this, so I definitely will not. Just gonna let them draw. Metamorphose is usually not the evil thing. The evil thing is the Glimpse. Glimpse, the impossible. Wish is a problem. Oh, we have another Ral. You can never have enough Rals. They might play the Ral. How desperate are you?
Very.
Everything will be 1 mana. Or like basically everything will cost 1. Yeah. I mean like at this point we're basically our fate is in like our opponent's draws. If they draw well, or sorry, if their draw is useless, we live. If their draw is useful, we lose. If they play Ral Pass, we win. We dismember the damn thing and we attack with everything. But they're not playing like they're that weak. They're playing as if they're calculating something, which is not good for us. Or I hope the calculation is really close and they can't make use of it. But like the thing is, they have infinite mana basically. They've got 2 mana reducers here between the Ral and the Ruby Medallion. And then they can make it even cheaper with another Ral on the battlefield. So I'm not exactly sure what they're missing here. They don't have Past in Flames in the graveyard, right? Sometimes I forget that there's a Past. Like sometimes they play these Surveil lands. They play the Surveil land and they're like, oh, put Past in Flames in the graveyard just quietly. And I'm like, what? When did that happen? Okay, so I'm guessing that they just want to flip this thing to kill Hexcatcher. Just based on they lost the flip, so they're gonna take a damage. Just based on like how they're playing. Either that or they had a call, and they're gonna squash me now.
Like a bug.
It's hard to tell. Sometimes you can't tell. You can't fully tell what people's tells are online because sometimes people are just distracted because their spouse like said, "Look, you got to help me right now. We're bringing in the groceries." You know? Okay. And now my opponent dies.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like when Storm fails to storm off.
Deadbeat Nikachu wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna change nothing. Submit. Oh, they submitted too. All right.
Running back.
Yeah, we running it back. His hand's not interactive enough. Like, I'd prefer, I mean, at least with the Hex Catcher, it was A, like, pressure, and B, a little bit of soft permission. This has nothing. Yeah, this is terrible. Think we should try to go at least one more? Yeah, I just can't do. There, I mean, Sink into Stupor, that's still some interaction sometimes. Sometimes it's like the card to just stop the chain of their spells. But I don't have Ether Vial in this hand. Oh, anyway, the hand is just weak, so I'm just going to mulligan. This hand's great. Okay, we're going to keep this. I got to dump something. I guess it's going to be Trickster, and we're just going to keep our Lords and our Force Negations.
Premium.
Well, Premium is strong. If I got a 1-drop, oh, I got the 1-drop. I was about to say, if I get a 1-drop, it's Premium. Now we got a clock. Now we have a decent clock.
Clock it up, boy.
Clock it up. Don't put Past in Flames in the graveyard. Don't do it. Okay, they kept something on top. That's worse. It's always bad when they put something on top. Yeah, you can have don't counter the Ruby Medallion. Don't worry. They've got, this is a terrible draw. They got tons of really useless air cards in their deck. Their mountains are air. Everything's air. Okay, but what do I do here? I maximize damage by playing Lord of Atlantis first. But our opponent can go for the kill next turn.
So tap a land down.
And I'd love to have Hex Catcher. On the other hand, if we draw a base, or if we draw land, an untapped, if we draw one untapped land next turn, it'd be better to have Hex Catcher. Then we can pass the turn and hold up 2 Force Negations and not have to pitch them away. That'd be great. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. We need to, we gotta smack our opponent a little bit for a little while here. Okay, we just have to hope we don't get combo killed here. Damn,
combo.
what I would kill for a blue Ether Vial. That would be so valuable to our deck. Blue. Just make Ether Vial. Reprint Ether Vial, but make it blue. Ral. Yeah, that's not good.
Lose the flip.
Glimpse the impossible. Okay, what's going to happen here? They won the flip, but they might not flip it because they want to keep the chain going. Usually that's what they do, which happens here. Now, they still have a land drop for the turn. Anyway, this is the type of card that makes the game like spiral out of control badly. So we are going to counter it. And I'm just going to hope that they don't have a mountain. Aww. Do I die?
No.
Well, there's a ritual. Because Glimpse the Impossible is like worth 3 cards. That's just too many cards. Okay, they lost the flip. They took some damage. They get 3 mana.
Lose the flip.
Yeah, keep losing them flip. They won the flip this time. Okay, they're going to flip it. I guess they're going to kill the Lord of Atlantis. Then I can attack Ral with the Hex Catcher. It'll go down to 1. That's not a terrible exchange, and they're empty-handed at this point, I'm sure. Yeah, okay, they're empty-handed. So if they're empty-handed, that's great. Exert! What, do you want to exert your Ral? If I had that, I would not have played the Lord of Atlantis. I would have played it differently. Okay, so yeah, we are just going to attack Ral to 1 loyalty. He'll take up next turn, big deal. You're gonna just draw a random card. You're gonna draw land, draw a donut. There it is. There's the land. Tide Shaper. Yeah, we'll probably play this Tide Shaper. What do you have that you want to exert something? I can't remember. Is it just Flage?
Norin the Wary.
Gains haste. Exert. If that mana is spent on a creature, it gains haste until end of turn. I want to say it's just Flage. But either way, I'm still going to cut off some of the white mana. I hope that's not a mistake. Okay, they're going to go find a surveil land. Do a little surveilling of the situation. Put a mountain into the graveyard. Anyway, this is how these games play out, and like they could like go off here. Okay, Manamorphose, but like they can just find a mountain here, and like they have to pass the turn because they really depend on a pretty critical dent. Like they are more likely to combo off if they're comboing off with like 5 cards in hand, but if they're like depending on Ren's resolve over and over again, then they sort of have to get lucky. See, like they're empty-handed again, so it's like hard to get the thing going. Okay, they have another white mana source. I'm just wondering if it's worthwhile to cut off the white mana source at this point. What's the clock looking like? We can attack for 4. Okay, overall I'm attacking for 6, so it's a 3-turn clock. I can attack for 4, then 4, then 6. That's still a 3-turn clock. All right, let's do it like that then.
Gotta siphon that mana.
Yeah, exactly. Do I want to play this Ether Vial? Yeah, no, I will not play the Ether Vial.
Stop your upkeep.
At their upkeep.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
My upkeep doesn't matter.
Donut.
There's a lot of donuts.
Big donut.
Some good cards too, though. Ren's Resolve. All right. And it finds a Manamorphose. Only one red mana left. Oh, sorry. More red mana now. How many surveil lands do you have, opponent? Manamorphose. Okay, draw another random card. But could also randomly be a Ral. Could be Ral. Okay, they're getting the red-white. They have Flage in their deck. They got Flage big time. They're playing like they do. Flage would be horribly annoying at this point. You did not. Oh, you found, okay. Glimpse the Impossible. Which can't counter. I should have been considering. I didn't even notice. I could have countered maybe the. I don't want to throw my creatures away too easily, but like the option, I had the option and I just didn't take advantage of it. Phage. That's not a good one. Okay, so they're definitely gonna play that. Gonna play that. Shoot something down, but they can't bring it back from the graveyard because of my dock hand. Okay, hold on. How does this work? It's like, okay, exile top 3 cards. You may play those cards this turn. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, put them into your graveyard, then create a 0/1. Okay, so the thing is, if this doesn't resolve, the Reckless Impulse and the Phage get stranded, so we are going to counter the Pyretic. Oh no, but they have a lot of mana. Forgot they have one white floating. But I'm still gonna lose the whole board. Anyway, or how do I want to do this? I want the Phage in exile. I don't want Phage to show up again. I'm thinking we actually should sack the whole board here. I counter, they pay. I counter again, they pay. Okay. Yeah, I think I have to sack my whole board because Phage in the graveyard would be very difficult to deal with. So we'll just start countering things. If they pay with the white mana, I might let it resolve. They do not pay with the white mana. Anyway, okay. Or can I sack the or can I sack the Hexcatcher? Then they won't have white mana. And then maybe Phage is still stranded. Maybe I can keep a creature here. They could play Reckless Impulse. and still like sort of maybe go off. They have storm count 4. Do you feel lucky?
Yeah.
All right, we feel lucky. We're sacking the Hex Catcher to this Pyretic Ritual. So we have to hope that they don't draw Manamorphose and they can't storm off. Because I want to keep something, so I'm going to keep the Tide Shaper. They have to pay the white mana, which they needed for to play the Phage. So anyway, okay, so they have 3 red mana. They'll play Reckless Impulse. I got to hope for some bricks. Bricket. Brickerinos. They found a Wish and a Scalding Tarn. That's terrible! That was really bad. Wish is a strong card here. They can wish for... Oh, no. Do they have to play it this turn? You may play a card you own from outside the game this turn. Okay, so actually they only have 2 mana. They can't do anything with it. But they can next turn, right? So we're going to die next turn unless we draw... I think I'm just dead. That's not good. Yeah, Wish is probably the strongest card they could draw. Oh, no. I can draw Flare of Denial. That's what I can draw. We can draw Flare of Denial. That'll work.
How many do you have in the deck?
3.
It's pretty good. It's good odds.
Well, you like those odds, huh?
It's better than 1.
Opponent has 1 card in hand I do not know about. They can't play Scalding Tarn this turn. They can next turn. Yeah, their graveyard is way too full to survive a Wish next turn, so I desperately need to draw Flare of Denial, or we're dead.
Sure wish you had Grafdigger's Cage now, didn't you?
It would be useful. It would work.
Got to get that Graveyard Hate back.
I think enough other people are playing with Graveyard Hate that I don't really care.
Got to get that Relic of Agendas back in there.
Like, I don't know. What? Oh, did I miscount something? Did I miscount the mana? Okay, they're going to wish for something. What are they going to Grape Shot? What can you get? Because you can't Past in Flames here. That's 4 mana. You can only reduce it twice. It's funny Wizards brought Storm back. Like, it's completely put in its place. Like, it did terrible at the Pro Tour. It's just off. Like, the only reason it was doing so well online is, like, no one had any, like, Storm hate. Like, when was the last time someone put Damping Sphere in their sideboard? Like, I think I haven't seen that tech since, like, 2016 or 2017. Whenever the hell that thing was printed. Like, Storm has just been such a dead archetype for so long. And it's like, you know, it's around, but it's clearly kept in check with Graveyard Hate. They cannot beat... I don't even think you even need much to beat it, to be honest. If you force them to play, like, 1 spell a turn, they're ruined. Okay, so, like, what did they get? What can you do, opponent? Because you got to spend that turn... was that a blunder? Did they screw up? Or did they, like, misinterpret, like, past info? Or maybe there's Grape Shot or something. Or, like, they can't get Empty the Warrens. Okay, they're going to Grape Shot. But all it does is kill my Tide Shaper, which, big deal. I think our opponent threw. I think they threw.
Well, he isn't raging in chat, so...
Because, like, why would you want to dump your Wish? Or did I misinterpret something? Like, that was got off the Reckless Impulse. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Yeah, so they could pass the turn, wait till next turn, play the Wish, and they got, like, so much mana. And they're going to get more mana from their, what's it called? The Glimpse the Impossible. Our opponent's in a very clumsily... Are you attacking me? No, some of it's going after the Tide Shaper, or all of it's going after the Tide Shaper. How badly you want to kill this thing?
Yeah, make sure it's dead. We'll kill him twice, just to make sure.
Well, I guess we're going to pass the turn with Ether Vial and Dismember up. That's great. That's exactly what I need. I need the 3rd damn Dismember.
It's going to come in handy, you'll see.
I should probably just kill this thing off. Fetch land. How many surveil lands are left in that deck? Oh, what happened? I did. Oh, did they go to the graveyard? Did I misread this thing? For each of those, oh, goes. Oh, wow. I should have. Oh, I completely misunderstood this thing. Oh, I completely misunderstood the situation. Huh.
Your YouTube comments say that that's your thing. You
Yeah.
misread cards.
I never read everything properly. Well, fortunately, we do have 2 dismembers, but it's gonna cost me 8 life. Also, the stupid Flage can still come back. You're attacking with the spawn token, huh? That's a show of strength. So I'm gonna bolt myself. Ugh, not gonna be a lot of life left when this thing's done with me. So I'm probably gonna die this Phage at this point, which means that I don't know if I had an opportunity to counter this or not. Maybe I didn't. I'm just thinking back. Maybe I didn't have to play the dock hand. I could have left it as force and negation food. But I think it's okay with how I played. So we are now going to pass in a very sad manner. So this Phage is going to... it's not going to attack. I'm not going to let it. Sacred Foundry, sure.
This game is evolving in a weird way.
I know.
Big ones.
Well, okay, so probably going to die this Phage. Not much I can do about it. It's cheap. I don't know if it's better, but it's certainly cheaper to dismember it, pay 8. Oh, but I'm still going to die. So they're going to bring it back. I get bolted for 3. And then I can't... I was hoping, like, maybe I can ambush it in combat and then dismember it, but like by the time it attacks, I'll take too much damage.
Skull crack.
Skull crack.
Norin the Wary.
Okay, so I'm trying to think back if I had any choices, knowing that glimpse of whatever puts everything into the graveyard.
You should be writing these things down on your boogie board here.
No. I don't need that. It's right here. To be honest, I haven't played against Phage in these control deck. In these combo decks. This is like the first time I've faced a Phage. Like, I've played against a lot of combo decks. I've seen the Phages in their sideboards. I don't know how effective they are overall. Because it does not seem to be... Okay, we're dead. Alright, we lose round 1. It's not impossible to lose to Storm, but you're still pretty heavily favored anyway, at least from my experience. So that was round 1. Let's get into round 2. We won the die roll. We only have a 1-lander. We got a mulligan. I like this hand. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to dump the Ether Vial. There's nothing, especially with Flare of Denial. I got to sack a creature. And I only need 2 lands to cast everything, so Ether Vial is not particularly important to this hand. We can go start off turn 1 dock hand, turn 2 Lord.
Whip them.
Hopefully win. It's as simple as that.
Ral.
No, not Ral. Okay, opponent plays Verdant Catacombs into an Overgrown Tomb.
Dredge.
Delighted Halfling. What is this? I mean, it could be Nadu. It could be a lot of things. It could be dark. It could be Dark Nadu. We have another Lord. Okay, I think we're just going to try to lord out my opponents. Yeah. Sort of wanted to tap something down, but I don't think it would be very useful. I'm playing the Master of the Pearl Trident over holding Hexcatcher up because if this is Yawgmoth, it's a Bowmaster deck. If it's Dark Nadu, or I should say 4-color Nadu, then it's still a Bowmaster deck, and I don't want my thing getting sniped off for nothing. So I have to lead off with a Merfolk, or like a chunkier Merfolk, I should say. Still don't know. It could be anything.
Whoa.
Birthing Ritual. Beginning of your end step, if you control a creature, look at the top 7 cards of your library, then you can sack a creature. Sure. Should I let that... Okay, I don't know if this is going to kill me or not. Shoot. I bet... You know, I'm always like, let it resolve. I don't know what it's going to do. But the thing is, like, this certainly is a deck that's probably built around this stupid card.
Is this anything like Birthing Pod?
It's supposed to. It's exactly what it is. Except they look at the top 7 of the cards of their library, and then they get to choose to sack a creature in play to upgrade it or not.
Nah.
But they don't have to. So the thing is, my Flare of Denial will get worse and worse. But so will my board. Okay, sack away. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't know what I can do with this. Funny they left the halfling untapped. I mean, you're gonna you plan on sacking it, right? Oh, we got the Prosperous Innkeeper. Okay. And another Flare of Denial.
Flare of Denial is new. Explain how it works.
That's a counterspell for 3 mana. Alternatively, I can sacrifice a creature that a blue creature I have in play, a non-token blue creature. Sorry, this gets more and more specific. A non-token blue creature in play to counter it.
That is great, actually.
Instead of paying the
and it's a hard counter.
It's a hard counter. Counters anything. We have it
How
available right now.
How much does this card cost on paper? If it isn't
Still
$1,000.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's like you're excited. You know, Merfolk community was excited. Like, it's okay. Like it's playable. It's part of our toolbox.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's not mind blowing. Like even in this situation, I don't want to sacrifice anything here. Like I basically have lethal going into next turn, but if I sacrifice something, then I won't. Another Innkeeper, huh? Yeah. Okay. Then none of this stuff's worth like killing or anything. Good thing this is at end step because then they can't use a grist or anything. They gotta sacrifice an Innkeeper to get a 3-drop. What kind of 3-drop can you get? Dryad Arbor. Gains more life. I hate this, by the way. This new summoning sickness thing. That's like super recent. As of my last update. This wavy thing is just screwing with my brain.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It looks cool, but you know what? 2 weeks from now, it'll be the new normal. And you'll forget that other cobweb thing You know what? Good job, Daybreak Games. I like it.
I can make it. Well, I don't know what they're gonna do here. They don't have to get anything. They're gonna get a 1-drop, I guess. Oh, they got themselves a young wolf. All right, so I see the synergy. They're gaining a bunch of life. It's not good for me. Got Sink into Stupor, which can be played as a land. Although it doesn't even seem like I can counter anything anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go all out. Best I can. You want to block anything, opponent? Or you want to block nothing?
Ha! You have fallen right into my trap, Joey.
Yeah. You have Cord? Well, I can counter that. So we will counter that. Cord for 2. So the Cord for 2 will gain them 2 life. Oh, what is this going to be? Oh, it's probably Strangleroot, guys, so they can sacrifice it. Okay, I'll counter it. Yeah, we gotta stop. We gotta put an end to some of this stuff. So we'll deal 8 damage, which is not insignificant. Although it looks like I need to top deck like a Harbinger of the Seas or something to really get this game away. Oh, can I undo that? I actually should have that in my hand. There's no point putting this in play. Pay 3 life? No. Yeah, I should keep that in my hand. So if I sacrifice something with Flare of Denial... if I sack something with Flare of Denial and then top deck a land, I would really want this in my hand. Another Innkeeper?
Costs 3 life to play it untapped?
Huh?
It costs 3 life to play it? Wow, why the tax?
Because it's a spell on the other side. It's like a free counter spell. Anyway, I'm in unknown territory. I have no idea what the hell our opponent's doing.
Neither does he.
Could be true. And it looks like I'm just going to be at the mercy of a Spreading Seas effect. They sacrifice the young wolf, and they're going to get something? Another young wolf? How did this happen? Is it X or less? Oh, so they can sack a young wolf to get another young wolf. Interesting. Spreading, see, that's the problem. I don't have this thing in my hand anymore. Like, I could bounce this stupid thing at this point. Yeah, okay, so that was a blunder. Because I also don't need the land either. And now I don't even really want to attack. If I attack for 4, you block, block, block. I don't really get anything out of it. I could attack with everything. You block, block. Block, block, block. It's not the worst thing in the world. You block, block. Like, to gang block anything is really awkward. And I'll definitely get a Prosperous Innkeeper off the board if I attack with everything. Well, I mean, they could just let it through and just, like, I guess double block my Hex Catcher. No, I'm going to keep everything. We'll just pass. And I don't know what, like, I'm sure this looks like Yawgmoth, honestly. But anyway, that would have been great to have this thing available. Bounce this. Like, they look, well, I mean, they could have lands in hand, and they just don't want to play them. But it would have been good. Use this now to just bounce the stupid thing. I don't have to deal with this nonsense anymore.
You'll get another one.
Huh?
You'll get another one. Or a Spreading Seas.
Or the Harbinger of the Seas. That would have been great. That would be great.
Oh, you know.
They'd be completely locked out of green mana, or any mana. They don't have any basics in play. The Woe Strider. Escape. Exile 4 other cards from your graveyard. No, this is definitely not. This is not seeing the light of day. There's Flare of Denial for you. If that was... Well, if that was Subtlety, that'd be even better, because I would have played the land and then Subtlety the damn thing.
And then you'd have 3 in the air.
Okay, we need Tide Shaper, please. Alright, I also need my opponent to brick on whatever
need the big one.
I have no idea what they're looking for. They're going through their entire deck here. Oh, they can get another Woe Strider or something. What do they find? Another Young Wolf? I can't tell what they're getting off the top of their deck. Okay, they found a Young Wolf. Keep finding them Young Wolves. They're at 20 life. Okay, well, we have this thing. So I need to put a stop at the beginning of their end step. Or their main. Yeah, pass. Bit of a standoff we have here. Don't we, Rosic? Bit of a standoff.
Well, just a bunch of dinks, at least.
Yeah, that's the only good thing about any of this. The birthing ritual.
The fleshes have been reached.
Yeah, no end step for you. If they recast it, I guess I'm just gonna sack my Hex Catcher. I don't want to deal with this stupid thing. They might have multiples in their hand at this point, for all I know. They could have multiples. Still looking for Harbinger of the Sea. That would be a perfect draw at this point.
Big.
Harbinger.
Huge.
Okay, that's good enough. I'll at least get things moving.
That's what I take Metamucil for, actually.
So I can attack for... But I needed this so much earlier. And we'll see. I don't know. If they don't have another birthing ritual...
Poof.
They don't have grist. This will all be fine. But it's well, they're playing like they have a bunch of birthing rituals in their hand, to be honest. Or they have a bunch of really expensive creatures that they can't cast. Because they're like just passing the turn over and over and over again. Whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. Well, that's not good news. But, well, that's even worse news. You keep gaining that damn life. And fabricate 1. Yeah, you can, ooh, which gains you even more life.
Yikes.
Back to 20. It's like I didn't do anything. When another creature or artifact you control is put into a graveyard. Okay, well, I'm going to lose 1 life anyway, so I might as well just take the 1 damage.
Boink.
Now any creatures we draw would be good.
Premium.
Like lords.
Lord it out.
I mean, whatever. It's not terrible.
All right.
See what we can do about this. And the opponent sort of needs to keep playing creatures each turn to keep gaining life.
If you
to outpace my crap that I have on the board.
If you trickster them, does that negate the undead effect?
Yes, it does. I'm very likely to trickster this thing, though. So if I trickster a prosperous innkeeper, they'll gain 1 less life with whatever nonsense they do this turn. What is this? Blooming Marsh? Okay, Eternal Witness. What can that do? Oh, you want to get Court of Calling? Is that a combo? That top deck was better than our top deck.
Premium.
It was very premium. I really need that Hex Catcher now. Damn it, we're so close to lethal. Why did we have to die this turn? I'm assuming... Can we just do nothing? I'm going to play Trickster on the... I'm assuming they can sack the board. But then if they can do that anyway, we die anyway. Like they're 100% going to grab the Court of Calling from the graveyard. Court of Calling right here. So I'm going to tap down the Marionette. Eternal Witness resolves. They gain 3 life. They're going to get Court of Calling. They can Court of Calling for... I'm guessing a sack outlet. Like, that's what I'm guessing is the point of all this.
I'm guessing all right.
They're forcing me to have Flare Denial, which I do not have. I already burned both of them. 0 for 4. Oh, this might just be Yawgmoth. Is this just Yawgmoth? It's just a weird Yawgmoth deck. Okay, so... I'm just dead, right? I think I'm just dead.
Bounce spell.
I bet it's Harbinger. This happens to me all the time. I'll draw like the perfect card when I'm dead. When it's like bad news bears. Or am I gonna die before I even draw my card for the turn? I mean, I think they can kill me. Because they can sack. They're paying a life. Or maybe they die before I die. They can draw a lot of cards, though. Oh, no, sorry. They have... okay. Forget it. They gain life every single time the creature comes back. Okay, Yawgmoth. Now this is not your normal Yawgmoth deck. This is a bit of
your grandma's Yawgmoth deck.
Somewhat of an upgraded Yawgmoth deck, but it's still Yawgmoth is Yawgmoth either way. Might even be a weaker Yawgmoth. I mean, I did a lot of damage to them. They gained like 20 life, so I put them down. I dealt like 30 damage that game. So those prosperous innkeepers did something. That being said, it looks like a more janky version of Yawgmoth. Where's my Yawgmoth sideboard guide? Deshaun's Tidebinder comes in. Dismember definitely comes in. Subtlety comes in. Get rid of Force Negation. Well, I should think about that. They have Chord of Calling and that enchantment. Okay, let me look. Okay, Hexcatcher definitely comes out. Now, this one, I'm assuming they have Bowmasters. I'm assuming. I don't know that for sure, though. Okay, is there anything weaker? Would I want to remove Subtlety? No, okay, I'm gonna leave it as is. They can have that Birthing card. I don't even know how many copies of that card they even have in their deck. They could have, like... that could have been, like, one of 2 copies, or even one of 1. Anyway, we won the die roll. Hand is good. Yeah, I would say the hand is good. We're going to keep. We have turn 2 Tideshaper into, hopefully, turn 3 Svelun or Harbinger of the Seas. Either one is fine. So I will play Cavern of Souls here with the intention of dismembering their mana dork. Then I'll hit them with Tideshaper, and hopefully that shuts them down a little bit. Thoughtseize!
T1.
Oh, shoot. They could take my Sink into Stupor.
It would leave you feeling stupid.
It would. That's a new interaction now. They can Thoughtseize the lands from my hand. I didn't think about that. Maybe I guess well, I don't remember. There are Thoughtseize in Yawgmoth.
Thoughtseize bug. Float right back to the top.
Oh, just draw me a land. Which there are many of in my deck.
The Thoughtseize bug is real. It's not coincidence.
Prosperous Innkeeper is sort of a difficult card to deal with because they go turn 2 Innkeeper, they get like a mana that they can use to curve into Yawgmoth. The Underground Mortuary. So if we play Harbinger of the Seas, it's game over. If we draw a blue source.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Big, 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 big.
Yeah.
Always something. Attack for massive damage.
It's either that or, yeah, attack for massive damage or hold up Dismember. I guess we'll attack for massive damage. If you consider 4 massive damage.
It's more than what Yawgmoth attacks for. Nobody's ever actually used that creature as a beatdown stick.
Well,
no one.
They never need to. Okay, there's the Innkeeper.
It's
power.
power.
I should have maybe countered this thing.
It's power and
because this 1 mana is problematic.
Toughness are irrelevant.
Ether Vial sucks. Okay, I'm gonna attack for 2. Did they misplay? They should have played Innkeeper first, then the Dryad Arbor. Still gonna attack their mana.
Huh. This one's for Gabriel and Deceive.
I don't know what the hell that means.
That menace thing. Like
oh, yeah, the Dryad Arbor.
He did not see it. He really didn't see it.
Well, I saw this one. I saw that Dryad Arbor. It was right in front of me.
Now you have to pair your
Birthing Ritual again. That card was such a pain last time. So if you go into... What are your 3 drops? The Woe Strider?
What was me?
Whatever. hoping I top deck a land here. Just slow them down. Like, my hand is pretty good. It's full of 3-drops, but they're like really, really good cards. I just need my opponent. I just need to draw 1 land. Well, not a land. So we go back to what we were doing before. Back to the basics. They might be missing a land to play like Yawgmoth or something. Okay, well, I can't do anything about it this time. So we have the exact same position. I'm just one... I have 1 less life. Wonder how many birthing rituals are in their deck. I guess the deck is built around birthing rituals, so there's probably 4 of them. Even better question, how many forests are in their deck? Because it's very risky for them not to have forests. Okay, we're going to fabricate here. That's fine, I don't care. They know about the Harbinger of the Seas, right? I'm pretty sure they know about the Harbinger of the Seas. Okay, so my only issue at this junction is my opponent has Fatal Push. That could be awkward. I'm thinking I should pass the turn. We Tashana's Tidebinder this birthing ritual just for a turn. That's fine. Because if they have Fatal Push and I play Harbinger of the Seas, they just sack the treasure and kill it, and that's it. Game over. But if we pass the turn, hold up Tashana's Tidebinder, maybe this game looks a little different. Thinking also, do I attack and just trade with a Marionette? No. I want to protect my Sphaloon as well. Although it's so easy to play around. Pass. I don't want to do anything. I think they know my entire hand.
Yeah.
I probably should have. No, I don't. It's hard to attack. Attacking makes their Quarter Calling more awkward, or just harder to get any value out of it. Wooded Foothills. They crack that. I am most definitely gonna play the Harbinger. Chthonian Nightmare. My god, I can't beat all these cards. All these cards are very difficult for me. ETB, you get energy? I'd rather you didn't, to be honest. Is this the deck's only source of energy? Pay X energy, sack creature. No, you're not doing that. Not on my watch. Not while I'm around, bub. Okay, now let's see what they get with this birthing ritual thing. Sacking that to get delighted halfling, sure. Something died. Okay. Take this to 3.
Big time.
And now I'm going to activate. Now, if they do nothing... Okay, I will use the ability. I'll put the Harbinger of the Seas in play.
Goodbye.
And I hope that...
Good game over.
No, it's not over, because they still have this treasure that could still represent Fatal Push.
But what about Wardo?
I guess I'm just gonna attack with both these things.
They can still pay.
Yeah, they can pay for anything. Okay, they did let it all through. That's a good news. It means I might have missed out on some attacks earlier on. Is there like a combo I don't know about? I don't really understand this deck. I'm up against this thing for the first time.
Well, on Wednesdays at Burger King, you can get 2 Whoppers. That's a pretty good combo. For like the price of 1. It's not bad.
Where?
Burger King.
I don't eat there anymore.
Too much diarrhea.
Too much diarrhea, that's right. I don't know what's up with Burger King. Like, does no one eat their own food anymore? Or they just don't care.
They want you to sit on that throne when you're done eating.
Yeah. The throne. Oh, they have a forest. Oh, what a nasty top deck. At least they can't hard cast Yawgmoth. That's impossible. Their whole deck seems to be like, I don't know, birthing rituals, prosperous innkeepers, marionettes.
Junk. Just junk.
It seems to be full of a lot of junk.
A lot of filler just to get to that Yawgmoth.
But I mean, they can still, okay, hold on. They can still chord. They have 1, 2, 3 green, and they could chord for a Yawgmoth. They could do that if they wanted to. So they do have Yawgmoth mana. However, they'd be tapped out. They can't even target a single creature of mine because Svelund would protect them. Okay, looks like... Where'd the second black coming from? I don't know what's going on here. Okay, Yawgmoth. Where the hell did a black mana source come from? Never another creature. Huh? There's gotta be something here that gives black mana. Where'd the second black come from? These are blue lands. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana to cast a legendary spell. You're not blue. How did that happen? Oh, sorry, the treasure. The treasure's not there anymore, so it confused the crap out of me. Okay, so they have Yawgmoth. So they can kill the Harbinger by sacking 2 of their creatures. It would free up their land. But it would cost them 2 life. And then I could attack for 5 next turn. So they'd be dead. So that's not a good idea. What other options do they have? They could also sack their Yawgmoth, though. Maybe they'll get something nice off of their birthing ritual. I don't know if there's anything more expensive than 4 in their deck. Okay, hold on. We got Yawgmoth here.
Richard Garfield loves Yawgmoth. It's his favorite card, he told me.
It's probably Mark Rosewater's favorite card.
I met him in Vegas. He signed my Richard Garfield.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of you. And then you give him this Richard Garfield card.
He signed this.
Thanks, Mark Rosewater.
He was a man of few words, but he was nice.
Oh, yeah, he's a nice guy. I think... Okay, let's see what they get. But I think if I draw a Lord, we win. Pretty sure that's how that works. They got a halfling. That's fine. Okay, yeah, if we draw Lord, I think we win. If we don't draw Lord, the game gets very interesting. Very, very interesting. That was a terrible draw. Okay, so now what I mean by interesting. Can I attack with everything? Probably not. Attack with everything. Block Svelund. Block, sack, kill something? Yeah, that's not good. So we're just going to attack with Svelund and draw a card. Hopefully we draw. I don't know. Tishana's Tidebinder would be fine. These are not... Now, this is the Svelund bug. I almost never get to attack with this creature. And, like, the moment I do, lands. Just lands.
Big time.
Not particularly useful for me. It's Landsville, population me.
Yeah, it's kind of bunkins. Also, it's not a bug, it's a feature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a feature for my opponents.
Oh, come on, Yagi.
Yeah, come on, Yagi. So I guess what's going to happen? I'm surprised they didn't sack on their turn. I mean, I don't know what's in their hand. Maybe it's just a bunch of garbage. They have a bunch of mana now, though, to like just shoot down a bunch of stuff if they really want to. So I guess the best thing that they can find is a Young Wolf or anything with Undying for that matter.
Harbinger of the Sea is doing work.
Endurance. So with the trigger on the stack, they exiled a Chord of Calling. Can you play Chord of Calling here? No, but they can sack the Endurance in response. You desperately want to open up your lands, do you? Okay, so the Endurance is going to kill our Harbinger of the Sea. It's probably going to open up their mana, their little Chord for something. For something. They are getting low on life. It's the only good thing about this whole situation.
It's getting dangerous.
We'd still have a Tide Shaper. Again, if we draw a Lord, maybe that's lethal. Another Marionette. Is that a combo? Do I die off of this? Sack a Servo. Or you can go get Dryad Arbor now. No, that's not Dryad Arbor. I guess they spent their Dryad Arbor. You don't have much life, Yawgmoth player. You gotta be careful. In this battlefield, each player sacrifices a non-token creature.
Thanks for stepping up to the team, Mutable.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. Okay, again, if I... they're tapped out, so they can't target any of my creatures. So if we draw... what's it called? Lord of Atlantis, Master of the Pearl Trident. It's lethal. Well, we should see, actually. They could find something off of this...
Strider?
No, Birthing Ritual. Oh, no, they found Dryad Arbor. Oh, no, they were playing Chthonian whatever, and they didn't need any energy to get the Dryad Arbor. So that can be used to, what, sacrifice? So again, if they find an undead thing, undying creature, they win. Probably. They sack this. I take 2, get an undying creature, sack that. Yeah, they could sack. Oh, no, maybe I'm just dead on board. They just sack... Oh, no, they can't sack everything. Because if they start sacking Oh, they found the Young Wolf. Okay, then that's just easy death. Because actually, if they start sacking a Marionette, then they'll be triggering one less. But now I'm dead? Pretty sure. I'm going to leave that on 3 just to terrify them.
Trickbinder.
Because I could end up having... No, they're just going to do it with my own. Yeah, I'm just dead. So.
Oh.
What was my next draw? Draw a card. Not good enough. Neither that, I don't know, maybe another turn ago or something like that. All right, we lost. I don't know what's in this thing. My greatest vulnerability in any matchup is like playing against a deck I have no idea what the hell's inside, because I can't play around cards that I don't know about. So they've got Marionettes. They've got this Birthing Ritual. And so now I would definitely have to have Force of Negation, because they also had that Nightmare card. So the Nightmare card, Birthing Ritual, and Chord of Calling, that's probably enough to keep, say, Force of Negation over, say, Merfolk Trickster, which I don't value too highly. Especially in this matchup, I think I might value it even less.
Sucks.
Just be given they have so many of these just, like, triggered abilities. Yeah, I think I'd value Force of Negation better. Okay, well, that was round 2. Not the greatest start, but... I don't care. I got the trophy already, so I can lose as many games as I want from here. We'll go to round 3.
They should have given me 1.
Anyway, we lost the die roll.
They mulliganed.
I'm going to keep this. We have a curve. I could just throw out a Tide Shaper for nothing, and then follow it up with Lord, then hopefully Flare of Denial something. Okay, Spire Canal, so actually throwing a Tide Shaper out on 1 might actually buff it up. This will only be bad if this is a prowess deck, which in that case they could go like Mountain, snipe off my Tide Shaper for nothing, and I will be very, very sad. But I can't tell if Is It Prowess has Gigantha as a companion, but I don't see it here, so that might be good for us. Scalding Tarn pass.
Gigantha.
Could just be control. Merfolk. I'm just going to attack for 1. We'll play Hexcatcher at end of turn. And then I guess start dumping lords. Like, when your opponent has a bunch of mana up, don't play into it. Just play your good spells on their turn. I won't have a choice when it gets back to my turn, but I have a choice now, so make the right choice. Opponent has not really revealed what they are. They could be Murktide, they could be Is It Control, they could be Is It Wizards, they could be anything. But now we'll just throw out our Hexcatcher.
Could be Norn the Wary. How much does that card cost on paper?
I don't know.
A penny.
Lightning Bolt. Okay. Hexcatcher down. Sink into Stupor. Okay, so now I can't play around anything. The more they're playing, or like in this style, I think they're just an Is It Wizard deck.
Wizard.
I'll be in a tough spot if they play Snapcaster Mage, because I'll probably have to play Flare of Denial and sacrifice my Tide Shaper, which is not really something I want to do.
Tide Shaper should get +1/+1 for each island your opponent controls.
Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Another Tide Shaper. That's not a bad draw, because I could play the Tide Shaper and hold up Flare of Denial. Just like hold up the whole thing, hard cast it. So I'll attack with both of these. Yeah, this is great. So now I can play the Tide Shaper for just a blue. Oh, I'm not kicking it. I hate it when it casts the thing when I mean to kick it. Now I'm like, I'm not kicking this thing.
Kicking it when it's down.
This probably telegraphs that I have Force Negation or Flare of Denial, but like, I don't care.
Hey,
I don't care.
Gotta let them know.
So, if I counter this and they go Snap Flame, that would be really bad. But I think we just have to play into that. It feels a little too weak to let that resolve. Maybe not. It's like a lightning bolt. Yeah, maybe I could have let that resolve. The problem is, okay, well, we win. But it was a huge risk to let them play Snapcaster Mage, crack fetch, go flame on this thing, draw 2 cards. Or is that so bad? Well, I'm not in love with it. What's my next card? Land would be okay.
Those particular 2 shades of blue and red on that dual land are very pleasing.
Oh yeah? You like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is an Is It Wizard deck. We want to play at instant speed mostly. Tishana's Tidebinder to counter Snapcaster Mage triggers. Subtlety hitting Tishana's Tidebinder. They play Tishana's Tidebinder. They play Snapcaster Mage. Dockhand might be okay. Harbinger of the Seas is weirdly good in these matchups. They usually don't show me a mountain. Okay, I'm going to remove Dismember. They do have Tamiyo, but I'd rather try to ambush a Tamiyo with Trickster than to keep Dismember in the deck, because like Dismember is just bad value versus Snapcaster Mage or even Tishana's Tidebinder. It's just not. I don't think it's worth it. I get rid of 4 cards. I don't think I have a sideboard guide for this. Well, I probably don't have Force and Negation. I might not have any counter spells, to be honest. Do I have Dockhand? Is that like a little too weak? Maybe that's a little too weak for this matchup. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Yeah. We'll keep Flare Denial over Force Negation because, well, countering Snapcaster Mage just matters. We got cards. And we're going to play them. Cards. Keep. The hand is not great, but I mean, it's not worth throwing away. Tamio. So, like, it's okay. Tamio can draw cards. I don't care.
Well, then why don't you play Tamio if you can draw cards?
I tried. I tried to play this card. It was okay. It didn't seem great. It was like if you have Ether Vial, it was okay. When you don't have Ether Vial, you just never have room to draw like anything from these clues. You just never do. Okay, we'll just pass. Very likely they will be very careful to go shields down, because if they do... Oh, you do have the mountain. Oh, damn. Okay, well, Harbinger of the Seas... I might side out Harbinger of the Seas just out of that mountain, to be honest. It's just too big of a risk. Too big of a risk. That's respect. That's what that mountain is right there. That is respect.
R-E-S-P-C-T. Oh, no.
They preferred island cycling, too. How stacked is their hand?
So Tamio produces no damage.
That's correct. I might slam a Sveiloon. Spell Snare. Oh, that's fine. That does work. Ooh.
Do it by mountain.
Ooh. Okay, anyway, can you deal with this Sveiloon by any chance? She's got a big butt. Okay, it's bigger than Lightning Bolt can deal with. Not big enough to deal with Flame of Anor, to be honest, but big. That's desperation right there. No, maybe not. Maybe they have Flame of Anor. They just want to draw a card right there.
Yeah, you should play with this Tamio again. The metagame.
This is my Tamio.
No.
Yeah, so like I found like you have these clues. Like I make tons of them too. So I have all these clues, but they don't do anything. Maybe in my Urza Saga list that would work. Play turn 1 Tamio. Like I made tons of clues, but you like have to... Oh, well, that's a beating. See if that Harbinger of the Seas was a force negation. Well, it's not that's not an exchange I want. But whatever. Preordain. Basically lost from here.
Nah.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is there a world where we can Tide Shaper this thing and then Harbinger of the Seas on the same turn? I think there is. Okay, so that's our only out at this point. We need to get them to tap out again. Like Snapcaster Mage, Flame of Anor. You know you want to do it. You know you want to go that route. Oh, I hope the... Oh, and damn it, I didn't think about it. Like, they could go Snapcaster Mage,
Snapcaster Mage coming back.
What's it called? Snapcaster Mage, Spell Snare. That'd be perfectly fine, too. Because I have it. I can go Tide Shaper on their mountain, and then Harbinger of the Seas, and that's it. They're locked out of their deck. But I need them to go... I need them to be greedy. I need them to go Snap Flame. Snap Flame. Snap Flame. They're thinking about it. How many more cards do I need? What's this at? 7? Snapcaster Mage? Now the safe route is Spell Snare. But the greedy one is Flame of Anor. Greed! Greed!
Greed is good.
Yeah, greed is good. Especially when the greed is coming from the opponent's side of the board.
Come on, do it.
Well, they're committed. They can't go back now. You can't go back. You cannot go back. And I get to keep a Hex Catcher, which is beautiful. The greed. It's 2 greedy opponents. I'm going to snap my plays off.
Snap my foot off in your ass.
Well,
That's what you wanted.
that's what I wanted. Step 1. They're like, okay, I'm prepared for that.
So I had the mountain.
Step 2. They need subtlety here. They don't have it. Okay, now what? Now what's happening here? -3. They can go get a Lorien revealed. Yeah, that's something. Okay, pass.
What's the power and toughness on Harbinger Disease?
3/3 now, because it's buffed up by the Hex Catcher. But normally it's just a 2/2.
Should be like a 10/10.
Oh yeah, we should have a 10/10 Blue Moon, I know. Okay, so now we have a chance. From, like, having no chance a second ago.
No mountain, for goodness sakes.
There's no more mountains. Believe me, that's it. That was the only mountain left. They're going to shrink my creatures. Not enough.
Mountain.
Oh, we both play this game. Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
No Lord of Atlantis.
Well, yeah, I need a Lord of Atlantis now. We even no Lord of Atlantis.
Because it bumps his up. You need the Masterful Trident.
Well, I'd rather have something anyway. Something better than nothing. Okay, hold on. So what is this? The ultimate is insane. Draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library. Yeah, that's pretty good. I regret not attacking last turn. Because I could attack with the Hex Catcher if they block with Snapcaster Mage. Well, my creatures are bigger. So if I attack with everything, I guess they're going to triple block my Tide Shaper. That would be terrible. But if they triple block the Tide Shaper, then I can... I need one more land to double bounce these Harbingers.
You also have 2 muties.
No, I don't. They're locked out.
Right.
They're all islands now. It's not addition to their land types. We got this situation. We're still losing. This is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
Merfolk wins.
Yeah, Merfolk's gonna win, that's for sure. Oh, and my stuff gets shrunk. Totally forgot about that part too. Yeah, we needed to top deck an Island Walker there. I would have, by the way, for the record, I would have been fine with Lord of Atlantis. My opponent can also have some 6/6 unblockables. It's fine with me. They could just chump block them if they really wanted to. Well, let's hope them drawing their entire deck is meaningless.
Ha.
What are you going to do with half your deck? Play Lorien Revealed?
Fumble it.
Okay, draw cards equal to half the number of cards in your library. Rounded up, you get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. Oh, God. So they have them for forever? Well, they can only play the blue cards, though.
That's the good news.
Yeah. Oh, my God! Oh, I look so stupid. I can bounce the Tameo with the Sink into Stupor. That was ridiculous. Yeah, I forgot I could just bounce it. Well, whatever.
Oh, it's also Planeswalkers.
Hmm?
It's also Planeswalkers.
Yeah, it's all non-land permanents. I've never had to bounce a flipped Tameo before.
Well, maybe he'll...
Well, here's still the good news. I can only play blue cards. Oh, God. How many Snapcaster Mage did they draw? Well, we're probably still... Yeah, we're definitely lost here. I have to bounce the Tameo.
Can you bounce the emblem?
No. Cannot bounce out. You cannot tie. This is invincible. This is more indestructible than anything in the game. Nothing gets rid of emblems. Attempt to attack Tameo? Attempt? I don't know. Maybe how lucky would it be that they don't have any, what's it called? No creatures and 25 cards. Wow!
They're just all land.
Maybe. Could be. Okay, here we go. 25 cards. No creatures? Are they going to sack 2 clues? That'd be insane. Are they locked out of the game? No! No! Okay, that's a good play. Okay, we're in trouble.
Well, at least you can replay it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna resolve.
It might.
Okay, I've had enough of this game. we're not coming back from this. I don't need to play the rest of this out. They have too many cards. Okay, I will play Harbinger. No good. Harbinger's fine versus Tamio, but okay, they have their own Harbinger, so this seems pretty useless. And they showed me they have a mountain, so I'll play the Force of Negation. And I think that's it. I could play Dockhand, because I can be a little aggressive on the play. I don't need Subtlety. Subtlety is probably fine, though. Okay, I'll just submit it. Actually, I think I really like Subtlety here. Hand is blah, but we'll keep.
Yeah. See, now if you were playing Tamio, you'd have your own clue tokens.
These Mutavaults could get shut off by my opponent's Harbinger the Seas. So we better attack with them while they're still possible to attack with. I play my Aether Vial. Okay, opponent plays Steam Vents.
Takes life.
Yeah. They're probably prepared to kill my Mutavault. It's probably part of their grand scheme. Well, I'm going to disappoint them. We're going to play Cavern of Souls and not play into that scheme.
Huh.
Yeah, they probably have Galvanic Iteration or something.
Yugi, no!
Yeah. I'm gonna be patient here. I don't need to tap out yet for anything. Tide Shaper is interesting, but I probably should sit on that card too. So we'll play Mutavault, play Aether Vial, and then pass. And probably I'll file in a Trickster, try to get them to tap out. Maybe we'll Tide Shaper the Steam Vents. But we'll see how this game plays out. Are they stuck on land? That'd be very interesting. Not exactly stuck on land, but maybe stuck on red land. Okay, so we are going to start to make a move.
Sure, make some moves. Come on. Close this game out. Show him who the real Merfolk deck is.
I think we're going to leave this on 2 for now.
How many decks are just splashing Harbinger of the Seas for the fun of it?
None. You have to build your deck around that card for sure. I'm drawing a few more Aether Vials than I would like. I think we've just drawn lands and a Tide Shaper. Sort of not ready to attack with a Mutavault. I think that's a bit... Or maybe it's not that valuable. Maybe I'm overrating this Mutavault. And pass the turn. So I'm assuming they'll use their red source to kill the Mutavault at end of turn. Yeah. Oh. And I can't protect it. I could if I had a Lord in hand, but I don't. That would be a great play. They played smart, actually. They played very well. They played around Tide Shaper. Because if they bolted during combat, I could play Tide Shaper and then ruin their red mana. And it looks like that's their only red source. I guess I'm just going to attack with this Trickster for a little while. You know, I didn't think about it. I could have put the Tide Shaper in play at end of turn. We just try to go aggro. That was definitely a line. I'm going to tick the Vial up because we have a lot of 3-drops in the deck.
Boom.
Apparently we have a lot of 4-drops too. Okay, I'm just going to attack for 2 first. And now, given that we drew Subtlety, I will tick the Vial up to 3. Or sorry, tick the Vial up to 4. They want to draw a bunch of cards. I don't think
what the heck?
I don't think I approve of that.
Wins the game.
Who? Well, that was a long time ago. Chad stuck. I'm surprised you didn't even notice.
It's been a while. I thought for some reason he just wins because he played that card.
Preordain. And we know what they're missing. Red mana. Another Preordain. I'll be in a pretty good spot if they pass the turn. Then I can tick the Vial up to 4. Ether Vial can stay on 2. And I'll have 1 Vial on 1. And then we'll have like a really good situation going on. Okay, I don't want them to get any counters, so I'm just going to play our Hexcatcher and then sacrifice the Trickster because we're losing it anyway. And then they just won't get any counters at all.
Ha! Tech.
Yeah, you can call it that. It looks like our Hexcatcher is going to die too.
Didn't you try to make a deck around Flame of Anor?
Not well. I mean, I had a blue-red Merfolk deck.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
It's funny. This is more popular than Lightning Bolt now, just because you can store the energy and then potentially kill bigger creatures. That's very, very, very interesting. We'll use the Ether Vial's ability. We'll not use it on this one. No, we'll use it on this one. This is like okay. So I attack. I think I'm just going to attack for 1. No, I can attack for everything. And if they try to kill, I flash in Tide Shaper. I guess that's okay. And then counter it. We get a nice, relatively clean 4 damage. Maybe there isn't even a bolt or anything like that over here.
Yeah, he's just bluffing.
But I have to admit, like, the opportunity to win is like shrinking because they have a lot of cards in hand.
Yeah, but they're all donuts.
No, they're probably all gas.
Okay, he's gonna tap out for a creature. You're gonna play Subtlety, and that's it.
There probably are creatures. There we go. There cost 1 less to cast for each land your opponent's control that could produce colorless. Get out of here. I think it destroys lands. Something like that. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-basic land. Okay, now maybe they're dead. Because I can attack for 7.
3.
Yeah, yep. We won. Okay. We won a match. Thank God. I'm not...
No egg.
Yeah, no egg. All right, well, we've won 1. It's time to win some more. All right, we lost the die roll, and we don't even have a very interesting hand. It's basically 5 mana sources and 3 drops, so we're going to mulligan. Whatever, we're going to keep it. I guess we'll dump an Ether Vial. Have we been able to keep, like, any hands? I think we've been mulliganing on 6, like...
A lot, but not everything.
Mulliganing 2-6, I should say. Okay, Flooded Strand with a Gigantha can only mean one thing.
Gigantha.
Prowess. Or not. I don't know where this Ragavon's coming from. What is this? Oh, it's energy? Oh, it's Boros energy. Okay.
Maybe Runaway Steamkin will come back.
Yeah. So we'll let our opponent hit us with a Ragavon once.
Runaway Steamkin loved energy.
Did it?
Yeah.
So, Boros Energy. Tough matchup. Okay, so a lot of people are like, I can't beat Boros Energy. I can't beat Boros Energy. Okay, you got to be defensive. You got to keep your head above water here. Although, I have to say, like, I'd prefer to go Violus in this matchup. They could play that stupid dog and blink our Vial and make it completely useless. So the basic deal is you want to be as defensive as possible early on in the game. And then just try to swing the corner later on in the game. Do not try to race. You have to be defensive here. That is your best bet. I might even try to throw a Tide Shaper into this Ragavon. Our opponent found a Flare Denial, which was useless to us. Counterspell is no good in this matchup. You want to play to the board. It's all about playing to the board. Fortunately, Boros Energy is not that popular. I mean, it's popular in the sense, like, it's fun to play with or whatever, but it just gets slaughtered with any deck with removal. It was, like, a really popular deck. I mean, Aspiring Spike made this deck, like, super popular when it first came out. But I think it's died down a lot since then because, I mean, it's just a bunch of random creatures that don't hold up to any removal. Okay, Amped Raptor, this is great because if they find a piece of removal or Flage, they don't hit any of our creatures. So it's just bad if they find a creature. They found Fable the Mirror Breaker.
Was Aspiring Spike at the Energy series?
No, it was not. Okay, I'm going to counter that because that seems like a bit too much of a hassle. I'm a little bit lucky I can hit that with Force Negation.
Pow.
But it's very nice to not have a creature in play like turn 2 when they play Amped Raptor. Sometimes they hit, like, was it that Discharge card? And there's nothing in play, so it's basically useless.
They got to print some of these AI-generated Saga cards that come up on your show. Some of them are really good.
Who knows what Wizards will do? They could do anything. Okay, I got a Mutavault, which is like whatever. There's still a lot of cards we have to deal with from our opponent. A lot of cards.
Are you going to kill that monkey?
Probably. The crappy thing about killing the monkey is they might play another monkey, and we don't get anywhere. Also, this thing has first strike, so it's a lot harder to kill. Or it's a lot harder to block. Whereas with Mutavault, well, anyway, I'll kill monkey. Blah, 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 kill monkey. Monk is down. Take another 2 from this raptor. They better not play another monkey.
It's amped. It's amped up.
Yeah. Super amped. Opponent's hand is stock full of stuff. I think, unless it's just a bunch of removal. Did we miss any land drops? Technically not at this point. Neither have they. I mean, they could be flooded. But they're usually like a 21 land deck though. Okay, they get Gigantha. It's not really a sign of strength. That is not a sign of strength at all. Sync to Stupor doesn't really help us. So I can't block the Amped Raptor profitably, so we're just going to attack with this Mutavault. We'll just attack for 2, probably get hit for another 2. Put a Lord. I guess we'll put double Lord in play. Let's see, this thing might die. Maybe it won't.
They need to make a Merfolk card that utilizes energy.
No.
Like some sort of water and electricity combo.
I hate this energy mechanic. Why did they bring this into... Why did it bring it back? Like, because you can't interact... Well, there's very few cards that exist that say, okay, player loses all counters and they cannot get counters. That, like, barely exists. So it's like a mechanic you can't interact with, like, at all. Okay, in some sense I'll be happy if they play Gigantha. In some sense I'll be sad. I'll be happy because they'll get rid of the treasure that they have over here. But I'm going to be sad because, well, I have to deal with a 5/5. And we do have Sink into Stupor. I guess can slow them down or something. Oh, you get that Plains. You never know when I'm going to play Harbinger of the Seas. You never know. Yeah, so the reason I didn't leave the Mutavault on blocking duty is this has first strike, so if I Violent a Lord and they kill my Lord, then Mutavault just falls instantaneously.
Did any other colors get a Magus of the Moon?
No. But that is a very rare effect. A lot of people thought it was dubious they gave blue this effect at all. But given that they ramped Tron up, I guess that's why they did it. Like, Tron got buffed so much. Like, one of the most powerful archetypes in all of Magic the Gathering. Well, they made a bunch of cards specifically for Eldrazi Tron, but just regular Tron absorbed them all. Like, well, why don't we just play this without the Eldrazi's? This actually makes a whole lot of sense.
Eldrazi coming back.
Damn, I sort of wish I had this in play so I could play Dockhand. Well, anyway, this will definitely block the Raptor. That's some good news. I think. Maybe not. Because maybe our opponent has, like, multiple removal spells in hand. Multiple. Where's the first one, opponent? Where's the first one? Unless they're really, like, on a bunch of air. I'm just trying to think, like, what could they possibly have? But I'm thinking it has to be removal. So they could have that white. Yeah, they could have that white one. The white removal spell.
Did the preview window exist before streaming?
Yes, I think they've always had this preview window. I just neglected to ever use it. Because that's where I put the chat. Like, where the hell do I put the preview window?
I'm just saying, outside of being like a stream thing, why does it exist?
Well, sometimes it's not easy to see the card, like zooming in. So you have the option to have this thing floating around.
Okay. It's like that is some like 4D chess. They were thinking ahead somehow.
That's weird. They use the energy from their Ether Hub to pay for this thing. Oh, they have Flage now.
This card is a pain in everyone's rear, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. But why not still pay for the white? Anyway, the ordering is just strange. Well, down goes a Lord. Things are getting worse before they get better. At least we get to eat up the Raptor. That's some good news. Oh, you don't want to attack anymore, do ya? I can't block this thing well. Alright. Get a 5/5. I really need to top deck a Harbinger of the Seas. Badly.
It would be good.
It would not be too bad. Oh no, actually, sorry. Flage is quite a bit off from getting cast because it needs to exile 5 cards. There's only 3 in the graveyard. So forget everything I just said.
Forgotten. It's like you never said it.
Yeah.
Big, huge.
Yeah, I don't even know what big means at this point. I really needed them not to have Flage. So, pass the turn. Their hand wasn't even very good, but it got out on the battlefield super fast. Amped Raptor. Get energy. How much energy? 3 energy, and you can put a +1/+1 counter on something.
Is this dinosaur new?
Yeah. This whole deck is new. Like, none of this existed.
Except for Giganta.
Okay, I'll just quietly concede here. Our hand, well, if the hand didn't have Force Negation, this hand would have been better. My sideboard guide. My trusty, trusty sideboard guide. What does it say for Boros Energy? Or any energy deck for that matter.
It just says concede for some reason.
No, it does, yeah. I'm not going to claim that this is a good matchup, especially how I've designed the deck, but the thing is, this matchup has died down so much. It was like one of the primary decks I saw when Modern Horizons 3 came out. But I think the removal decks just crushed it, because that's all you have to do to beat it. It's like, oh, they play a creature, kill it. They play another creature, kill it. And it doesn't really have that good of a long game.
Fizzles out fast.
Well, it fizzles out. I bring in everything except the Harbinger. I just have too many cards to bring in. Now, I bring in the Spreading Seas because it's a more reliable Tide Shaper. Because you play Tide Shaper, they just kill it. But Spreading Seas, sorry, they can kill it or they can blink the Tide Shaper. And that's why we're removing it. And we remove 2 Hex Catchers. Hex Catcher is not really a very good card when you're on defense. And we're removing all the counter spells. All right, just interact with the board. Just want to interact with the board. They got a lot of triggers for Tishana's Tidebinder, although it's a bit of a clunky card. Better than nothing. This is not that good of a hand. I don't like it. Like, we're not guaranteed our blue source for Harbinger this season. I'm going to mulligan. I have no 1-drop. No 1-drop. Dubious Curve. No interaction for their board.
None at all.
We're going to mull it. Okay, I like this. So we can even go turn 2, Spreading Seas, yes. One of their lands.
I love to see it.
You love the idea, huh?
It's still my favorite card.
Maybe I put a Sink into Stupor on the bottom. Okay, I'm just going to hope that I draw land off the first few cards.
Even though Harbinger of the Seas is basically a turbo Spreading Seas, it's just not the same. It's a lot harder to get rid of that enchantment. It's like a tick that's bored in deep, and you can't pull it out.
I guess I'm just hoping my opponent fetches out like a basic land that I can Spreading Seas, because then Harbinger of the Seas will deal with the second half.
Ha!
Harbinger of the Seas will give you like a good chunk of your wins versus this deck. Basically because like they do have a lot of non-basics. They do require a lot of mana to cast Flage, especially the back half, so they can never cast the back half basically. Okay, Ragavan is a problem. Ragavan is a problem. Aether Vial is a terrible draw. Been fine on turn 1. Ragavan's a problem because it makes treasures for... Damn it.
Tricky it.
Might want to try to tricky it in combat. I'm probably going to just tricky it.
No lightning bolt, please.
Yeah, Ragavan's a very big problem for this hand. I was just thinking maybe I should have Spreading Seas anyway. And then if they hit with Ragavan, get a treasure, and they even spend it on something, that I can still follow it up with Harbinger of the Seas afterwards. But actually, this Ragavan is just going to be a perpetual problem because it's always going to attack into me, and I always have to try to trade with it. Okay, they got this Plains. Guide of Souls. Souls everywhere. So I guess I'm going to Spreading Seas the Plains. That's not bad, actually, this subtlety. Because that'll give me the option to... Well, you know, I won a tournament, so I can have some bad luck somewhere. Like, these games are just playing out just terrible.
There's no free wins at the tournament.
Huh?
Was there any free wins at the tournament?
And all the games that you saw this thing just win instantly on camera, that was basically a free win. Like, you know, it's the closest I can get to a free win, at least. Yeah, it's the closest I can get.
So we have Harbinger of the Tides, Harbinger of the Seas, What else can there be? The whirlpool. Harbinger.
More Harbinger. Well, no, it's Harbinger of like the Merfolk. I don't want to look up Harbinger of everything. Okay, Lightning Bolt eats up Trickster. Attack with Ragavan. If I get a land, I'm just gonna slam Harbinger of the Seas and hope that they don't have like a bolt or something. I'm not even favored from here, even if I play Harbinger of the Seas, which is problematic. So it'd be a lot easier if one of these that's why going Violus versus this matchup is so important, because having the lands just matters so much more than Vile. You just, every turn of the game, you want to be able to use your mana and interact with this deck. It's decks like this Boros Energy thing that, no. Okay, so, oh, damn it. But they can still play it anyway. It's like pretty close to checkmate here. I'm like pretty much lost. If I subtlety this, they attack with Ragavan, they get a token, they get a treasure. Like I have to kill this Ragavan. It's like it's just too important. But if I subtlety, they put the Felia back on top of their deck. And even if I play Harbinger of the Sea, well, maybe it's still a turn before they can do anything about it. But anyway, I am very close to lost here.
Just need a land. The land will turn it all around.
I basically drew 2 bricks here. So I'm like basically staring at these Ether Vials, I'm down 2 cards. Like that's how this game went. I'm just down cards. 2 cards. These cannot help me for the rest of the match at all.
Bet you couldn't trade them for something.
I would love to. Well, I mean, that's what we used to play Smuggler's Copter to trade stuff. Okay, so Ragavan hits me. That's the only problem is this damn treasure. And like, even if I play Harbinger of the Seas, it still doesn't matter. I feel pretty lost here. Well, how about this? If I play 2 of them? What are you going to do about that, opponent?
Gonna psych him out.
Yeah, that's right.
What is he doing?
I got 2 Ether Vials now.
Why is he doing this? Ether Vial should be able to be activated to attack or block based on how many counters it has on it.
Well, they limit this much. If I had Urza Saga, I'd be able to block better depending on how many Ether Vials I have in play. It was Ragavan.
Yeah, this monkey's not going nowhere. It has a permanent place in this format.
Oh, yeah. The second Ragavan. The hell was that all about? Oh, they want the energy. I see. Clever! And they can throw away the Ragavan that just came in play. Hence the legend rule.
Gotta get rid of that rule.
What do they do with the Felia, by the way? Exiles. Puts Felia on the bottom of the... Okay, so Felia's gone. Maybe there's another Felia on the way. So opponent decided we're ramping the clock up. We're not done yet. We're ramping it up. Okay, we take some damage. Cavern of Souls. Sort of want those cards, opponent. I sort of want those cards. What's sad is my opponent is running out of cards. So it doesn't even matter. Okay, so I need to draw... I guess I need to draw Dismember really badly. I don't know. Gotta master the Pearl Trident, I guess. Maybe our opponent hasn't run very well either. Oh, but they still have a Gigantha in hand. Sorry, in the sideboard. They can go grab. From the Companion Zone.
Whatever happened to Luris?
Banned?
Yeah, I know. Just wanted to hear it.
Oh yeah, another removal spell. Can I come back from this? I'm going to hit for 6. Go down to 4. I can't dismember the Ragavan anymore. I guess if I draw Trickster, I can make... That's just great. I can make some sense of... No, okay. They'll get 2 energy for the 2 creatures that they get. They'll pump up the God of Souls, and I can't do anything, so we'll lose. I'm not gonna say this is not a good matchup.
You're the showdown winner.
Yeah, I'm the showdown winner. I can lose as much as I want from here. I won. I'm not gonna say this is a good matchup, but it's not popular enough that I care about like bending my deck all that much around it.
It'll be banned in here.
And it's I also don't believe that it's impossible.
Better odds.
Like, if these were anything else, this game would have been a lot different. But these were complete bricks. Hitting 2 Ether Vials. First, I don't even like Ether Vial in this matchup. Maybe I can even side them out, but I think that's too crazy. It would be way too hard to curve out if I took out Ether Vial.
Are the odds better than Amulet Titan?
Oh no, Amulet Titan is an amazing matchup now. The Harbinger of the Seas just destroys that deck. It's so hard. Like all their lands just do nothing. Okay, anyway, that was round 4. Let's move on to round 5. We lost the die roll. Our hand is not very exciting on the draw, but I don't want to throw it away either, so I'm going to keep.
They mollied.
It's a bit sketchy, though. On the draw, like, you want to be a little bit more interactive. You want to have, like, at least a turn 1 play, but I'm going to keep this thing anyway. Well, that's just great. Sand went from bad to worse. We're up against a Godless Shrine Thoughtseize deck? What the hell is this?
Thoughtseiz's coming back.
I don't even know. No, Thoughtseize never went away. Oh, it's probably his Gorios Vengeance. If I were to take a guess. The Gorios, Esper Gorios. That's the only... I think they have Thoughtseize? Pretty sure they have Thoughtseize.
Did graveyard decks get new tech in Modern Horizons 3?
Not really. Not
What's
like
this guy doing?
graveyard-based decks, I would say, did not get anything great. But... there are other decks that did. There was like new graveyard stuff.
Bring Dredge back.
Tide Shaper.
When is Dredge gonna come back?
I think we'll just play our Manamo and pass. When is Dredge coming back? Never. It's not coming back. It's gone.
Well, Faithless Looting is gone.
Yeah, they need to print more Faithless Lootings.
Somebody will figure it out.
I think this is going to confirm what I thought. Yeah. The Archaeologist.
That's a blue card.
It is a blue card. Chooses Ephemerate, so they want to Ephemerate their Archaeologist, probably.
And then that's where the Gorios Vengeance comes in.
Okay, they know about all these cards. Let's take away your white source, though. Let's see how good your Ephemerate is when you don't have white mana.
Ephemerate combos with Lionside Diamond. Somehow it works.
They can't even play Grief here. Okay, now they can do everything. Although they have to spend a lot of mana to do everything. Okay, hold on. What's going on here? There's a Trax in the graveyard. So if they go for Gorios, we always have Flare of Denial up. Always Flare of Denial. To deal with the Gorios Vengeance. But we can only deal with one. That's it. We got 1 bullet. Let's not waste it. Swamp. Oh, they're going for it. Okay. Which means they might have... well, they have Ephemerate, so they can, like, quadruple blink this stupid thing. Where are they getting milled? This is another, like, sort of bit of a slot machine matchup. They could have, like, a really, really good hand and destroy us. But generally speaking, like if you played against Gorios with Merfolk like a million times, you actually find out that Merfolk is actually favored here. Their hands are just a bit too clunky in the grand scheme of things. They can't get a lot of good things going. Not really proving that in this game because I didn't do anything on turn 1. What did they get? They chose Prismatic Ending. So if I play Sphaloon, they Prismatic Ending the damn thing. Well, we could go after their mana again.
And again. And again and again.
So the rebound hit the archaeologist, which is fine. Well, it's not good, but whatever. Okay, they put a prismatic ending in their hand. Why don't I get to see that here? Like, that should be written into the program.
Daybreak Games.
Yeah, Daybreak Games. Code it. That's known information. There should be a, like, this is like what you saw in directly in their hand zone. There should be like a revealed information zone. I want to get a counter. If you don't put oh, they bricked. They didn't find anything. They found a Grizzlebrand, Falai archaeologist, and 2 lands.
So Mill got some new tools, it looks like.
This is not a mill card.
Oh.
This set, look, they're self-milling
Yeah,
themselves.
but still, it's putting things in the G zone.
It's not a mill.
Did Mill get any tools in Modern Horizons 3?
I don't think so.
Good. Natasha City's laughter was enough. They shouldn't get anything more.
I think I'm attacking for 4. I don't want to I don't want to run out this Feilun immediately because I know about the prismatic ending. So we'll just attack for 2. Yeah, I think we'll attack for 2. Play the Cavern of Souls. Play a Trickster on this archaeologist. And then on our turn, I'll probably play Sink into Stupor and play our Sveilun. So I'm just like, and then on that turn, if they want to pay 3 to Prismatic Ending, that's okay. Like that's a lot. That's like a pretty big turn. Like they don't want a Prismatic Ending this turn, and they definitely don't want a Prismatic Ending for 3 next turn. Psychic Frog. Where the hell did that come from? The Psychic Frog. Okay, maybe I am not going to play this Sink into Stupor because I might have to bounce the frog if it gets too big. I also didn't even like making that play. They still have the Prismatic Ending. Ooh. I could attack for 9. That's a lot of damage. Or I attack for 2. Then I attack for 9 next turn. Okay, hold on. I attack for 2. Sorry, I attack for 9. Can they gain any life? I'm gonna go for this. This is great. This is like too much damage. If they go down to 2, they'll be on super defense. And if they have to Prismatic Ending this thing, that will probably eat up their turn anyway. Come on, no Solitude. There's so much like praying in this matchup. It's like, don't have this, don't have that. And like a lot of the times they don't. But sometimes they just destroy you.
Out of nowhere.
They're like Solitude this, Solitude, Solitude. Solitude, Ephemerate, Solitude. Oh, look, they found a Goro's Vengeance. So am I dead? Choose Goro's. Okay, and now I'm dead. Yeah. I'm lost, right?
I'm going to complain to Richard.
Goro's Vengeance gives haste. Well, let's see how this works. Okay, they have to play Ephemerate again. I guess they could do it on the Archaeologist. There's a world I live. The odds are not good. And I do need to top deck, like, a Lord. Okay, so they are going to... Oh! You want to double Ephemerate with the Atraxen play. That's clever. Very clever opponent.
Come on. Get on with it. Is Psychic Frog new? Or...
Yeah, that's a new card. It's a killer card, too. 2 mana for a 1/2. When it deals damage, draw a card.
Wow.
So if it deals damage to a player or planeswalker, you draw a card. You can discard a card to give it +1/+1 permanently. You put a +1/+1 counter on it.
I think it's time for you to play Demir.
Yeah, Psychic Frog Merfolk. Maybe that's not crazy, honestly. And you can also exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Psychic Frog gains flying until end of turn. It's a 1/2 that's super easy to turn into like a 2/3.
You can discard those Aether Vials.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, you might be onto something here. Psychic Frog Merfolk. Yeah, Psychic Frog Merfolk. That's the way to do it. What is my opponent doing? Are they just like asleep at the wheel?
Diarrhea.
Chooses Grief, Prismatic Ending, Glorious Vengeance, and Watery Grave. Grief isn't the greatest thing. But anyway, like, we're in a spot, I think. Well, yeah, they can ephemerate again. If they find a Solitude, we're in a lot of trouble. Glorious Vengeance, Prismatic Ending. They found a lot of Prismatic Endings. That's good, because they can only play 1 Prismatic Ending this turn. Or I guess they can play 2. Oh, yeah, if they play 2, I'm in trouble. Unless they have to shock in order to play it. Yeah, it's a problem. If they can Prismatic Ending the Master and the Tideshaper in 1 turn, that would be a problem. Chooses Prismatic Ending, Priest of Fell Rites, Gora's Vengeance, and Marsh Flats.
March.
They could also let Atraxa die, Gora's Vengeance again to look for Solitude. I mean, I don't know their exact configuration of this deck. Everything in my hand is irrelevant. I am completely banking on top decking a Lord here. It's a Lord or bust for me.
Hasn't Grief caused enough grief already?
Yeah, people are waiting for this card to get banned too.
I mean, Fury's gone, so you're next, pal.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. And soon only Subtlety and Endurance will remain.
Do you know what's interesting? Yeah, I forgot. They decided to ephemerate the Atraxa, which means they don't get the haste, which means they don't get the life. So now they're super dead to a Lord, unless they have Solitude in hand. But I didn't see them put Solitude in their hand. They're going to 1. Life is very interesting at 1.
It's the bond.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that was lethal. If I had that Sink into Stupor into my hand still.
Lord.
Yeah, Lord off the top is it.
Come on. Or a bounce spell.
The Lord. No, it has to be a Lord. That was not a Lord. It's very far from a Lord. Okay, but here's the good news. They don't know what we draw. Even though we're playing the Svelune that we drew this turn, they don't know that. Because they saw a Svelune before. Okay, can I still win? I don't think I can win. I think that's it. Well, actually, these 2 Prismatic Endings, though, they were the spells that we saw earlier. So, those are the only removal spells. Uh-oh. What was this? Oh, they're getting Grizzlebrand? Oh, that could be a problem. A lot of problems here. Well, I'm wondering, is there, like, no Solitude in this deck to make room for Psychic Frog or something?
How do they even use Grizzlebrand? He's at 1.
They can attack with both these things. Attack me for 14, gain like a bazillion life.
Oh.
Maybe they can kill me. Oh yeah, maybe they can kill me. Psychic Frog can discard 6 cards. It's possible. Yeah, maybe I'm just dead here. My opportunity to win that game was top decking a Lord. And then that was it. Sort of learning about their deck. Maybe they don't have Solitude. They have Ephemerate, Prismatic Ending.
Oh, perfect egg.
Perfect egg. I won 1 match, I'll have you know.
No, he hit you for 0.
Exacxies. Okay, what's my Goryo's Vengeance plan? I got plans, people.
When you went like almost undefeated at the showdown. You only lost to your own deck. So
Yeah, I know.
Still a win.
What was my build? Okay, Tashana's Subtlety. partially Tishana's Tiebinder is supposed to. I mean, there's a lot of triggers in their deck anyway, but also good versus subtlety. Sorry, Solitude, which doesn't look like they even have. And take out Force of Negation, because they can play Gora's Vengeance on my turn. Trickster and Dockhand. I think I leave Dismember in here because if they go Grief, or like they're supposed to be, if they have play Solitude, they kill a creature, then they go for Ephemerate. I can Dismember in a response, and it's like a 3-for-2. Not to mention, like, just killing a creature that's on the battlefield is not that bad. But I have to say, Grief, Dismember is a very, like, one of the poorer cards in my range. This hand's terrible. Because it has way too many lands. This hand's not very good either. Man.
I think this is the account they gave you is jinxed.
Yeah, a jinxed account. The curve is too high, is the problem here. The curve is too high, and again, Vial gets worse with like the more mulligans you take. So what? This is my first. If I keep this,
Yeah.
okay, I guess we'll keep. But this is a very poor hand. I'm gonna dump the Vial because cards like Subtlety and Tishana's Tidebinder are going to want to just make your land drops and then just play the damn card. Definitely not favored here though. Oh, maybe we're lucky. We can get to 3 lands. It's just one of those days, I guess.
Yeah. Big time.
It's just one of those days.
We need Psychic Frog.
Yeah, we need to put the Psychic Frog in our deck.
So you can dump all the donuts to it.
It's funny. I made like a Twitter post about like Vilest Merfolk is the way to go because like in this metagame right now, drawing a Vial is so bad beyond turn 1. Yeah, and there we go. I drew a Vial. Turn 2 Vial. I draw so many turn 2. Oh, this is great value. Oh my god, we're lucky. That was very, very lucky.
There it is.
There it is, but I don't know what to do with it. What do I do with it? Play an Archaeologist or something.
Or something, yeah. Vague.
I think I'm just going to pass. I really want to hit this Marsh Flats. Like, I'm in no position to win the game. You've got to be kidding me. The luck has to balance out. You want to spend another prismatic ending on this thing?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I was pretty happy when that happened the first time. What, I don't get to respond? What happened here? I must have No! Oh well.
That's Bupkis.
I think I instantly accidentally. I don't think I F6'd. But I think as they were, I might have like tried to pass priority at the same time that they were going to do something at end of turn. Like, I don't know. I want to say that there was like a bit of a lag between what happened. I'll play Grief. Okay, Grief happens.
Grief always happens. You get nothing.
I hope.
Good day, sir.
What would have been better is I subtlety this stupid thing. 3-2 versus a 3-2.
Ooh, yeah.
And these are basically lands. I think I'm going to attack. And the reason for this is that they can't Goryo's Vengeance the Grief, but they could Ephemerate it, and I don't think that's good for me.
No.
Because I don't want to like pass the turn, end of turn, try to sink into Stupor, and then all of a sudden they Ephemerate the damn thing. That'd be terrible. I wonder what they think of my hand is. They put a Thoughtseize in the graveyard. I guess they think I'm just flooding out, which is to some degree true. I'm going to keep the Subtlety to hit like a... I guess they don't have any reason to play Solitude. But I don't have any reason to play the Subtlety. Oh my god. And I can't cast this Dockhand without like going shields down on Subtlety. And I just ticked up the Ether Vial to 2. When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
Now I gotta think of the bright side. I won the damn trophy.
This league is nothing compared to that tournament.
Yeah, that means nothing. I won hundreds of dollars that tournament.
And clout.
Yeah, clout.
And qualifier points.
To what?
Other tournaments.
I think I'll leave this on 2 until I see a 3-drop or something.
Like, don't you basically get your in?
Okay, we just found our 3-drop. Damn, I wish I had that 3-drop here.
Don't you have your in for their next NRG tournament?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go their championship, where I can go 1-4 with this deck there.
What if you actually top on that tournament? What's the prize?
Huh? I have no idea. Nothing's. I asked the owners, like, so what's the tournament structure? Oh, we have nothing yet.
How far away is it?
I don't even know. I think it's like either at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year, but I'm not sure. They're still figuring out the details. The details are still being figured out. Trying to figure out when's the right time to play this Ether Vial. Guess we just do it now. If they have Prismatic, that's fine. Surprise! Okay, so I can finally play this damn thing. Okay, this might actually save us. The Surprise Harbinger of the Seas. So if they go Solitude, I can sink into Stupor it once. If they have Solitude in their deck, which we saw none in the first game. We saw none. See, how much power do we have in play? 5, 6? Yeah, 6 power. Okay, there's the Solitude. Okay, so I will sink this and hope they don't have another white card in their hand. If they have another white card, then they have another white card. They have another white card. They had Wrath of the Skauli, went super control. Super! No wonder they were doing nothing.
Ha.
And I guess they don't have Ephemerate, because they would have done something there. They would have let the exile thing happen first. Hardcasting Atraxa or something? Or Wrath of the Skies for 4. That's funny. Yeah, they went super controlling. Feels bad I don't have Hexcatcher up. Another sink into Stupor. This card is stupid. Stupid.
That's pretty good. I'll tell that to Richard Garfield in my next meeting with him. Well, it's not so much a meeting. I just know when he goes through his mail.
And we'll play a Hexcatcher. The 12-turn clock starts right now. I draw Lord. Alright. I sort of want to cancel this. And keep the sink. I don't even know what I would do with the sink, to be honest. Just not in a position to do anything with the sink. I guess if they play Wrap the Skies again for like 2, I could sink that. buy another turn. What is going on in their hand? Priest of Felrites. Pay 3 life. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Unearth. So I attack for 5. You can return a Solitude. Oh, but I can bounce this thing on my turn. So I can just bounce this. So I don't have to return it to their hand. I don't have to like Venser it. I can end of turn bounce it.
Whatever happened to Geist of St. Traft?
And then they don't have this available until like the very, very following next turn. Huh? What happened to Geist? Oh,
Yeah.
that card is stone cold dead. Stone cold dead. Ooh, Flare of Denial. Great. Okay, so the way this game is playing out, they've got a bunch of big, expensive cards in their hand. They're probably like Grizzlebrand. I'm going to guess Grizzlebrand, that Priest of Felrites. Yeah, probably like Atraxa, Grizzlebrand. Like this is just how it looks like this game is playing.
Oh, okay, here comes something.
Just had a land. Don't know what the point of this is for. Oh, they might also have Goryo's Vengeance in hand as well.
Grizzlebubba.
But we've got Flare of Denial. People didn't believe in Flare of Denial.
They still don't.
I don't really believe in it all that much either. But it's good for that in that situation. All right, we won that game somehow. But that's how it is against this deck. This matchup is just crazy. It's a crazy matchup. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm taking out these Dismember. I didn't know they like upgraded their deck with Wrath Disguise. That's insane. They have like way more removal than I think they do.
This whole metagame is just wacky right now. It's going to take a while for it to mellow out.
I might even change my sideboard guide. Can I keep a 7? Why? Oh, I can't keep this at all. If it had a, you know what? If there was a pitch card like Subtlety or Force Negation or something, I'd probably keep this because I can play 2 Tide Shapers. But anyway, this is not worth it.
That's the price you pay for the DB nickname.
I don't believe this. Well, I can. This hand's pretty unplayable too. If we get hit by grief badly, oh my god. You're watching in real time. There's no TV tricks or anything like that. I can't keep this. I want to say I should keep everything and all the lands. Only lands. Because if I get hit by grief, we're gonna sort of get them. So I gotta pitch 3 cards. It's enticing to pitch the Vial and maybe a Tide Shaper. No, I guess Vial and Subtlety. Whatever. Okay, we'll objectively do that. The problem is if I get hit by grief, this end is toast. It's just toast. It's gone. Gonzos. Woo! We'll live to see another day. They could turn to me. It's always a possibility.
Vial.
Ooh, if there's a card that can save my ass, it would be this one. The Harbinger of the Seas. Still need to draw land, though. We are, man, it's hard to get them 2/3s these days.
Wow.
Archaeologist is back. But they did get a Swamp. But Swamp is not the most important color. Okay, well, things are curving out night. What did they get, by the way? They mill Hollow Fountain, Grief, chooses... Oh, they got another Archaeologist. But they do have a Grizzlebrand in the graveyard, which is problem. Because they also have the basic Swamp, so they could go get it. They can get it with Goryo's Vengeance. Which they do. I have no defense. Nothing. I can do nothing. Yeah. Attack 7, gain 7. Draw 14 cards. Actually, you can draw 21 if you would like. Okay. Looks like they're going to play Ephemerate. Which means they get to keep the Grizzlebrand. Okay, so this is one of those games where they just smash you to pieces. where
However,
everything came together.
I have seen a time. I don't know if it's applicable in this deck, but you have one time on camera where they went down to one. They went down to their last card, and the last card was the piece they needed, and they lost.
Well, in this case, it's not going to be one of those games.
It was the last card in their deck, and you have it on camera.
Okay, do I have a chance? Wow,
What can you do?
you know, even to the very end, they gotta tease me like that. All right, well.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get that trick binder off.
Oh yeah, yeah, it would be nice. Well, we didn't go anywhere.
But that's okay because
If you want to know how to go 1-4 with Merfolk, I tell you what, I got a sideboard guide in my description below. Might even update that Goro's Vengeance sideboard guide thing. I will still play this deck list going into NRG Series Chicago, assuming Nadu is still legal.
What's the hotel? What's the hotel? Or where's the venue anyway?
The venue is at like something. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to it. These hotel names, there's all so many different. I will be staying at the Comfort Inn though.
Oh, okay.
But that's not where the thing is being held.
Continental breakfast.
I'm gonna get a continental breakfast. They better have good breakfast because the last place I went to, the breakfast sort of sucked beyond day one. It wasn't very good. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything. I think the leagues are better. Some of the games were close. Some of it just absolutely rotten luck. But I don't know. That's there's nothing you can do about it. I can't always mulligan to 4 and then expect great draws other than Ether Vial after that. No, I don't have anything else to say about this. Yeah, so long as Nadu is legal, that this is going to be my list going to Chicago. And if Nadu is not legal, then very likely Scam is going to be a really big deck, and I will try to play a Violus deck because I think that type of deck has a lot of potential. It's completely underexplored. Just because, like, even in these games, like in the matchups that we got, like Boros Energy, I don't think you want Ether Vial. I think you want to be interacting with that opponent instantaneously on turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and you don't want to spend one turn on Ether Vials, and you don't ever want to draw them. It's so backbreaking now. Drawing Ether Vial beyond turn 1 is just so bad in Modern. Everyone is just coming out for you, guns blazing. And so if you ever top deck Ether Vial, it's just a huge beating. Anyway, those are my only thoughts. Anyway, you like my brother being back? You give that thumbs up.
I like being here.
You like being here? Yeah, my brother likes being here too. He's going to be around. He's going to be around in the future.
Oh, yeah.
All right, with that, take care, everyone, and see you later, Fish Fam.